Greetings and welcome to Old Drunken Discography. I'm your host, Jason. With me is Tim
Ooh.
and Trey.
Walla Walla Bing Bang.
And we're talking Clutch. We're talking Jam Room 1999. Didn't make anybody's list in our grinder. Go check out our
No,
1990s
it
album
was
of the
definitely an
decade.
honorable mention, though.
It wasn't for me, but again, I didn't know this band existed until 2001. Or
Well,
2025, I should say.
it was an honorable mention for me, but by 1999, I was just ready to get done with the decade, so stopped doing a bunch of excess homework. And no, it did not make the list. And yeah, I don't know. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this one, actually, because this one I've got an interesting story with this one. So
So,
Oh, yeah, go ahead,
this would have been
Trey.
the
I don't
first
need to
time
go.
this would have been this tour was the first time I saw him live.
Hashtag tour bias.
so yeah, Jason, you mentioned not bias. You mentioned fatigue with the last album, and this is the one that started setting in with me. And I say that also saying I love this band, but lyrically it's just very dense, and it tired me out. So, Who Wants to Rock? It's a pretty good opener. Definitely sets a tone. Big Fat Pig. Um, they're bringing in the harmonica. It's a top song contender for me because I like that it's about these people who are willing to talk about religion until the Jehovah's Witnesses show up and then they all scatter. I thought that was funny. Uh, Going to the market, it's just a badass drum track. One Eye Dollar, it's another example of those great transitions. Raised by Horses, I really like the way he painted the picture lyrically in this one. Bertha's Big Backyard. It's a goofy little ditty about a woman selling vertebrae. Gnome Enthusiast. The first time I heard this song, I fucking hated it. And then the other day, I was driving home from work. I had the windows down, the wind was blowing, and this song was playing, and I fell in love with it. It's a summer song. Or, I mean, we're not in summer, but you know what I'm saying.
Oh no, I
Uh,
feel you. I feel you.
Yeah, oh yeah, we're right on board with that.
Swamp Boot Upside Down. It's a good instrumental, has a groovy feel. Basket of Eggs. You get an epic song about death featuring Yggdrasil with blues rock. Release the Kraken. It's the tale of Perseus done by Clutch. How can it not fucking rule? And it's got organ. The Drifter. Didn't really like this one. Island Pictures. It's okay. Sink 'em Low. I really like the last stanza, and we'll get back to that in an album coming up. Super Duper. It's pretty weird, but I really like that they returned to the spacey UFO stuff and released the dub. I liked it. It had good percussion, rumbling bass, and it was groovy as fuck.
All right. I just noticed I cut off the notes of the last two songs, but
Just say they're awesome.
let's see. uh Who Wants to Rock? Hey, hey, what's that smell? Just like cornbread done too well. It's short, it's fun. Big Fat Pig, I did laugh out loud at some of the lines. It's fun. Going to Market, maybe fatigue already, just kind of boring. One Eye Dollar, vocals are so weird. It's not bad. You just never know what you're going to get with this band because his vocals just. The dude has a range.
And
Um,
yet it's all very monotone.
it is all very monotone. Like, he doesn't do the patent, like breaking the high.
Yeah. And so like that throws him for me in the same category as like a Maynard, but I
Yeah,
think he's got more range than even Maynard does.
I think he does. And we haven't
Yeah,
even hit some of what he does later on.
right.
Um, Raised by Horses, again, fun lyrics. Not much to note musically, though. Bertha, it's a fun, short little thing. Gnome Enthusiast, I love the music for Gnome. It's got this southern feel to it. The vocals reminded me of early Beck. I mean, like early Beck, like before Mellow Gold. I feel like on repeated listens, you'd be rewarded for it. Swampy, Swamp Boot, Swampy Bluesy Instrumental, Baskets of Eggs, meh. Release the Kraken, it's 1999. At least it's not new metal. It's still, we're in the land of the biscuit
That's
here.
a big, big point. It's
Yeah,
going to go on for a couple of years here. Yeah.
yeah. We're in the land of the biscuit right now, and follow the leader.
Mhm.
This is still like this holds up better. The Drifter, it had some soul in it. The guy's got a really versatile voice. I'll give him that. I Send Pictures. I like how it fades in, but the main riff gets played to death. It's way too repetitive for me. Sink 'em Low album just kind of peters out at the end with a pointless, repetitive instrumental. Maybe it's fatigue. So I did have my notes in there. I just tied it all into number 13 because to me the rest of this album just kind of peters out. And
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, and I hear what both of you guys are saying, and I can see where you guys are both coming from. I know for me personally, like I mentioned, I think earlier, it would have been for this album that I first saw him live um, in Atlanta, opening for Corrosion of Conformity on the America's Volume Dealer tour. And as the decade would go on and more people would just come up to me, hey, have you heard Clutch? Because, there was actually like a single going on at the point. This was always the one to be like, yes, check out Jam Room. Because back in the day, this was the one that really got to me. So, so there's that, and then it's also interesting doing these albums for this show. I've kind of actually like seen a different side to this album. So, getting into my notes, "Who Wants to Rock" kind of just feels like an intro. Big Fat Pig does like it's cool. I like the transition into going to market a lot. And then we get into something that, yes, again, knowing what comes next is really interesting. How this song ends in a drum solo and then they go into One Eyed Dollar. Where have I heard that before? Or where will I hear that again? I guess is the circuits of time question. Um,
spoilers.
Spoilers, right? And I'll also say not the best version of One Eyed Dollar. Um, Still, it's the best thing on this album so far that I've heard. Uh, Raised by Horses gets kind of funky. I like it. Um, Bertha's Big Backyard. It's a fun interlude. And then Gnome Enthusiast. Yeah, at first it does seem kind of silly, but by the end of it, like it's a pretty cool song. I like Gnome Enthusiast a lot. And then Swamp Boot Upside Down's a nice little instrumental. And then we get into something very interesting. I guess this album's been reissued with some bonus tracks since the last time I had heard it. So the next couple here were actually kind of new to me. And I thought they improved the album quite a bit. I thought this was a strong selection here. Basket of Eggs, slow and groovy. Release the Kraken, I really like. It's clutch. The Drifter has a great vocal melody. And then I Sent Pictures is pretty hypnotic. And then again, no spoilers, um, not to give anything else away, but it's amazing how much they go back to the jam room as albums progress. Sink 'em Low's got some great guitar stuff going on. Um, that again, kind of much like One Eyed Dollar. I don't know if this is the best version of it. And then Super Duper is silly. It's fun. I can see the bungle. I can see the ween. I can see the Primus. I can see all the cool stuff that was still hanging on in the face of new metal in the late '90s, right here. And then release the dub. I think it's cool that like I think it's cool they closed with the dub, especially on an album called Jam Room. Like this is the kind of stuff you just stick around with in the room. And yeah, I don't know who's got the dot, but going into my final notes, It was the album I would turn people on to, but now sitting here actually listening to them all in a row and with the conscious decision um, to rank them against each other, it's not as good as I remember. Still great, but not as good as I remember.
Well, Trey has the dot, and you just to see how he does you. You see how he does you, Trey. He fucks you up. It's hard to guess where
I'll
Tim's gonna
tangle
put
that
it.
carrot all night long.
It's hard to guess Trey, or hard to guess Tim's.
So for Jason, I think it's going to be a 4.
You would be correct.
Oh.
For for Tim, I'm thinking 2.
You would be correct.
Ooh. But can you guess the next one?
Yeah, I think so. It's going to be number 3 for the next one.
I mean, sometimes that last one's the hardest one to guess.
Yep.
Yeah. So my final notes on it is, I think it's good, but to me it feels half baked. Um, they do return to this well a couple times, and I think they do better with it, which
Right.
tells me they could have probably worked on it a little bit more. It's also the first
Well,
time we get filler with
and even
Bertha,
kind of
and
counterbalance to that, it also feels like some of the albums that we've already put out are just more consistent. This one feels
yeah,
a lot more loose and experimental. And I don't know if it
Very.
necessarily works.
At
yeah.
some points, I was like, "Did I fuck up? Is this a B-sides album?" Because it was very like disjointed compared to
That's
what they had done.
That's what it feels like to me. It's the first time I think we really get filler too with like Bertha and Market. They're just
Yeah,
kind of
sure.
little quick things.
Which I'm okay with that. I like those types of things.
It's appropriately named. I'll say that.
Yeah, it does feel very jammy,
And the
not as
color code
tight.
will tell.
Yeah,
I'll say saying that, like, no matter what I've said about these albums on my notes, they're all still kind of solid. Like, they're not. There's nothing bad here. There's nothing that's. I mean, we've listened to some
Right.
bullshit on this show,
Right.
and like,
And this is
this
just a
isn't bullshit.
consistently, like, legitimately good band.
Yeah, like there's no clunkers so far.
they're very good at what they do. What they do very well. They just don't do a whole lot as far as um, variety.
Sure. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's very much a sound. You can pull multiple influences. I think those really start to shine a little bit more here coming up in the next couple albums.
Yeah, going forward, there's some
E-
expanding.
Even Dinosaur Jr. has more like changes than this band so far. I haven't heard. We still got a whole bunch to go, but there's a big
But you're
difference
not wrong.
between the first Dinosaur Jr. and the fourth Dinosaur Jr. compared to
Yeah.
the first
Yeah.
clutch and the last clutch, the fourth
The
clutch.
clutch, they definitely grow, but it's subtle. You know.
They do
Yes.
grow. There is growth, yes. It's just
Well, much like the South, right?
Yeah.
It grows, but it's subtle.
Yeah.
and even their foundation, like they didn't really have to grow too much,
No.
Right, right.
Oh, they
Yeah.
came out swinging.
Yeah, they came out pretty tight.
And early.
Well, stick around. We're gonna talk Pure Rock Fury,
Pure Rock Fury is next, yes.
which if you missed our 2000s Grinder playlist down below, it's a lot of fun. We list our top 10 records. We talk about Clutch in there at some point, so go check that out. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, help us out. We have a YouTube membership. You can get cool little pins and perks and all kinds of neat stuff.
And,
we have a-
and let us know what kind of merch you guys would be interested in, because that's something on our table. And is that
Yeah, we
something
need some
you guys would like?
stickers. We
Yeah,
need some stickers.
We want some of
I
that
agree.
Doing some of that limited edition ghost style merch.
Hey, it's
Oh yeah.
Tim knows what I'm
it's
talking
all
about.
limited edition at this point.
Yeah, but
We'll get out what we can.
you know what I'm
You
talking about, right?
you'll
Oh
get
yeah,
you'll
oh
get
yeah.
you'll get a sleep token record with Tim's ass print on it
Speaking of
with
sleep
ink.
tokens,
Tim will sit on this record with ink on his ass and print this record for you, and you get
I'll
that.
create you a delicate little flower.
Yeah. Be safe and fucking make good decisions.
Make good ass art. And then you go a little woo, and then a little whoop, 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 whoop. And then it's all, and then you're ready to go again. Yo,
Be
come
safe.
back now. You hear?